So it's the end of yet another week, and here on this channel that means one thing and one thing only. Every weekend I post an episode of this series we do called Your Take Not Mine, where I turn to you, the viewers, to give me your hottest NBA takes of the week based on what's going on at the time, and I then choose my favorite submissions and discuss them in a video. This week we brought in the new year, and along with the holiday season coming to a close, we saw some phenomenal basketball being played this week, so we definitely have plenty to discuss. In order to submit your takes, I make a community post on either the day of or the day before the video, similar to the one that you see on your screen now. So if you want a chance to be featured in a future episode, be sure to stay on the lookout for that. Before we start though, I want to thank Prizepix for sponsoring this video. Prizepix is the perfect service for all of us basketball fans here because when you're involved, it makes watching the games every night so much more fun and engaging. Basically, it's an application that provides you with lines on all kinds of individual player props, such as points, rebounds, and assists, and you simply have to choose whether you believe they will record over the set amount in the line or under the set amount in the line, make your predictions, wager however much you want to, and if your picks hit, you can win big money. For some picks I'm looking at today, I'm thinking of going with Cameron Johnson scoring under 15.5 points, Tyler Hero to grab over 5.5 rebounds, and Fred VanVleet to dish out over 6.5 assists. If this sounds at all intriguing to you, then go use the link in the description of this video to sign up today and use promo code REFERENCE to receive a 100% deposit match bonus up to $100. Once again, thank you to Prizepix for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into the topic at hand. The first take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Ryan, and he says that LeBron James is the best center in the league right now. This one was more humorous than serious, I imagine, but I picked it because there is a discussion that needs to be had about the current state of the Lakers as it relates to that kind of stuff. Anthony Davis is out because of an injury for a few more weeks, and without him, the team has been experimenting a bit. Davis has never been someone who has embraced the idea of playing center full-time, as he does so when it's absolutely necessary, but is very open about his preference playing alongside another big man in the lineup. So without him, the Lakers did originally resort to using traditional centers like Dwight Howard in the starting lineup, but the truth is Howard is very quickly approaching the washed stage, and the team was still struggling. So over the last few games, they experimented even further, utilizing extreme small ball lineups with, yes, LeBron James playing point center basically. This change has seemingly unlocked a new level for LeBron as his production has skyrocketed, averaging 37 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 blocks per game in the last 3 games that they've started him at center. It's as if he has total freedom to dominate the game in all facets again, and the results are paying off. The Lakers do still have a long way to go as a team though, as they currently still have a losing record and are in 7th place in the Western Conference, but for the time being, this is probably their best option without Anthony Davis available. Going back to the original take at hand, no, he's not going to become a full-time center, and he probably isn't the best player at that specific position, but looking at the situation more lightheartedly, he's been sensational at center right now. The next take we'll be discussing comes to us from Klay Thompson himself, and he says that when Klay Thompson returns, the Warriors will be back to being as dominant as the 2017 Warriors team was. Oh, well, hello Klay. No, but seriously, the Warriors have been rolling this year, looking like the team they used to be at the peak of their dynasty, as they currently have the best record in the NBA. Steph Curry being back as an MVP candidate is a big reason why, but also the emergence of Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins have contributed in a big way. Draymond Green has returned to his Defensive Player of the Year caliber play, and others like Gary Payton II and Jonathan Kuminga are giving them nice boosts in spurts, amongst the rest of their rotation also doing their jobs well. They're already looking like a legitimate title contender, and the scary part is that they're about to get even better because Klay Thompson is on track to make his long-awaited return from injury very soon. We've seen glimpses of Klay shaking off his rust down with the Warriors G League affiliate team, where he has looked damn good. Teammate Andrew Wiggins has been boasting about how good he's looked behind the scenes and has been warning opposition to watch out when he's back, and his lights-out shooting will make them even more tough to stop. top. However, while all of that may be true, the original take here is saying that the return will put them back up with the 2017 Warriors team, and that's where I draw the line. The 2017 team very well might be the best team we've ever seen play basketball, as they've had prime Kevin Durant, prime Steph Curry, prime Klay Thompson, and prime Draymond Green all playing their best basketball together, and there was never really any doubt that year along the way that they would go on to win the championship. This year's Warriors team may be once again leading the pack, but it's not necessarily as set in stone that they're the best, and there is definitely more parity in the league right now, so I don't think it's fair to compare this year's team to that all-time great squad. And finally, the last take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Angelo, and he says that the Sixers season can't really start until the Ben Simmons trade happens, and that we honestly can't gauge how good they'll be at this point in time. The Sixers have had a pretty turbulent season with a hot start, then a cold stretch when Embiid went out with COVID, then a combination of impressive wins like against the Nets and the Warriors, but also some worrying losses against teams hampered by COVID themselves. Despite being in 6th place in the Eastern Conference standings right now, the Sixers have a win percentage of a 3 seed in the East when Joel Embiid plays, which shows that they can still compete with the best at full strength, but they're not likely going to be a team with a realistic chance to compete for a title as currently constructed. When you have an entire max contract literally going to waste on your roster, it's not exactly the easiest thing to overcome when you have your sights set as high as the Sixers do. So yeah, we've basically been playing a months-long waiting game to see what the Sixers actually become down the stretch. The trade deadline isn't until February, so we still very well could have over a month of waiting for any traction to be made on a deal, but in the meantime, the team's goal needs to be to just remain afloat in the standings. Joel Embiid is playing too well right now to be able to afford to waste one of his prime seasons, so that alone will be the motivation to find the right trade partner to give him as much help as possible by the time the playoffs come around. We still have no idea what kind of return Ben Simmons will get them though, so regarding the original topic here, it's true that the Sixers are one of the most difficult teams to predict the future of because there are countless possibilities of what could come in a month's time with their roster construction. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about the takes we discussed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.